it over to you and you can teach us all how to choose the best mattress for our rentals.
Great. Thank you, Taylor. So let me just go ahead and I'll start sharing my screen. So let's do this slideshow. All right. So as Taylor said, I'm Sam Schifano. I'm Director of Hospitality at 3Z Brands. Thank you so much for joining today. I am titling this The Art of Mattress Manufacturing and How to Choose the Right One in partnership with Minoan. Minoan's a great partner that we've had for many, many years, and I'm excited to be here. I will try not to be very long-winded about mattresses. You will leave here knowing more than you ever wanted to know about mattresses, but I will try not to be too long because I can definitely talk a lot about them. So a little bit about my background. I have been a part of the mattress industry my whole life. My dad owned and operated mattress stores for as long as I can remember. My very first job was working in a mattress store, so working in retail. And I will say, it can be monotonous and it can be lonely, but it's also really nice to be able to lay on the mattresses when no one's coming in. So in 2014, my family started Bear Mattress. We were a family-owned and operated bed-in-the-box mattress company located in Hoboken, New Jersey. We were mostly e-commerce, but I did come on and I was in there to focus on the wholesale and hospitality growth. We were one of the very first small companies outside of a Tempur or Serta to think about hospitality, because we realized that people like short-term rental property owners, independent boutique hotel owners, they were missing kind of that individualistic service. And so that's what, Bear came in and I came in to provide for smaller people who really need, doesn't matter on terms of quantity and mattress quantity and what you're buying. So that's what I really focused on. We were acquired in 2022 by 3Z Brands. And I actually was planning to step away and figure out what else I'm going to do with my life. But about a month after the acquisition, 3Z came to me and asked me to head up the hospitality for all of our brands that we were under. So I came back and it's been here ever since. It's been great. I love everyone I work with. It's been really fulfilling and I love talking mattresses. So let's keep moving on. So 3Z Brands is an industry-leading mattress company that combines best-in-class house portfolio e-commerce brands with our manufacturing capabilities. So really with what we do is we have our e-commerce, we have retail, we have wholesale, hospitality, and manufacturing. So our house of best-in-class brands that you might know, we have Helix Brooklyn Bedding, Birch, Bear, Nola, and Leesa. Those are our direct-to-consumer brands. We have a very large no-label, white label wholesale line. We also private label. So some of the brands that you might know and love online are also made in our factory. And we also, because we've started pouring our own foam, which we'll get to when we talk about the facility, we also have become a foam supplier. Not just to mattress companies across the country, but to also other furniture companies, providing foam to them. We recently acquired Sutherland. They are a retail and mattress company based out of Nashville, Tennessee. What Sutherland has helped us do now and what it will help us do is expand our manufacturing footprint. So they have 5 different factories in different regions of the country. And besides our main Phoenix, Arizona manufacturing facility, their facilities are going to let us cut down on lead times, be able to create our most popular SKUs quicker, faster. And that's really exciting. And so we have, a lot coming out of the pipeline for 3Z. It's very exciting. Our manufacturing capabilities, we are 100% vertically integrated, which allows us to control the quality of the production process. We can control the supply chain from start to finish of your mattress. The market position for 3Z, we are currently, in 2024, we saw 20% year-over-year growth. We're on track for 2025 to surpass that growth. And I think what that really does is show that we're a significant player in the mattress industry. With the acquisition of Sutherland and with our factory in Phoenix, we're the second largest mattress manufacturer after Tempur Sealy, that maybe no one knows about. So I think that's really exciting. We're always kind of on the edge of innovation and looking towards the future and what we can provide, whether it's e-commerce, retail, hospitality, and other different things. So, in terms of my purview, which is the hospitality, we can do anything from replacement bed in a box programs to outfitting your 5-star luxury hotel property. So we have a lot of different ways to be able to do that. So like I said, we're 100% fully integrated in a 650,000 square foot factory. About a couple years ago, we were probably about 450,000 square feet. And when we built the foam pouring facility that's connected to it, it made it that much larger. What's really exciting is we actually just broke ground for another 250,000 square foot factory right next door, to be able to produce even more of our products. So like I said, when you're fully integrated, it's from start to finish. So it's the assembly process, whether we're, putting together the gluing or the stitching of the layers. Is it automated? Is it manual in terms of, do we have a machine for it? Is it a worker who's putting your mattress together? We also, have our own cut and sew operation, quilting operation, our innerspring production. So we make our own pocketed coils and have those machines in place. There's different pocketed coil systems that we make for it, whether it's a 6-inch, an 8-inch, a zone. It really differentiates in terms of what we can do in that sense. The foam pouring, so we'll pour, it'll cure for days, and then we'll cut it. We're strategic about the scraps. Might show up in pillows. Or we're selling it to other suppliers. So that has been a really great addition to the factory for not just our own products, but in terms of growth and what we can do and innovate in that sense. We also roll pack. So that bed in the box company that we always used to be, we still are. So your mattress will go through the vacuum seal into plastic and it'll get roll packed, put in a box. The label we put on it and it'll go out via FedEx ground. We do have flat pack capabilities. That's mostly for our local retail in the Phoenix area, or it's for our really big retail partners, showrooms that we might flat pack. So for the most part, what you're going to be getting from Minoan is a roll packed mattress, whether it's either just showing up on your door from FedEx or it's showing up via LTL or truckload, depending on the quantities that you're purchasing. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to show a short video about the factory. We'll move on.
Brooklyn Bedding is revolutionizing the mattress manufacturing industry with our 650,000 square foot mattress factory in Arizona, where we design, assemble, and ship thousands of mattresses daily. We only hire the best master craftsmen who bring their decades of experience to our state-of-the-art facility in Arizona. By recruiting the top talent in the United States, we ensure the highest oversight, quality, and comfort for your mattress. And we attract the best talent by providing competitive pay, a safe work environment, and other perks and benefits. Because a comfortable work environment founded on respect produces the most long-lasting and dependable sleep comfort that lasts a decade. We want your sleep to be comfortable and affordable, so we design all of our mattresses in-house at our Arizona factory. Our factory gives us the ability to build our own coil units, pour our own foam, sew our own covers, and assemble each layer for the highest quality assurance. Our dream factory is the size of 11 football fields and home to some of the most advanced mattress manufacturing and automation technology in the industry. Yet every employee is significant. Every design detail matters, and no fiber or stitch is too small to receive careful attention. We are on a mission to bring you long-lasting comfort, and we won't sleep until you can. We are Brooklyn Bedding, built for America's dreams. Brooklyn Bedding is revolutionized.
love the videos on Zoom. So, so you can see we have a very, very large facility where we make every mattress to order. So, I'll get into a little bit later on, but we don't really stock. So when your order comes through, we're putting that order onto the production schedule. We're making that mattress and then we're shipping it out. So all within kind of a 2-week time frame, you're getting your mattress. It is not coming from a warehouse that maybe it was roll packed, a year ago and has been sitting there. We really try to make everything to order. And really the only time we stock or have something in stock is when, there's big holidays like this weekend with Memorial Day. And we just want to make sure we don't, we stock up a week or two before so that we can make sure that we stay on our shipping timelines. But otherwise, everything's really being produced within 2 weeks of getting your order. So let's move on to a little bit to hospitality. So sleep wellness for the modern traveler. That's kind of our motto. What we like to consider is we're not a traditional mattress company. We're a modern mattress company that thinks bigger, does better for you. And we want to continue that and continue to innovate. Our mission is simple: to improve the health, wellness, and overall sleep quality for every guest every night. And that really kind of translates across the board for everybody, right? I want to make sure you're sleeping well, your guests are sleeping well. We all require it, we all do it. And it's really, really important to know what you're sleeping on so that you have, that overall great sleep quality every single night. Like I said, we're continuously innovating. So between the foam pouring, between our coil production, we're really trying to find different technologies that can differentiate us within the mattress industry. So different types of foam, whether they're copper foams, cooling foams, responsive foams. There's so many different types that we can, kind of create that will help create the actual product that we're doing. And those are the things that's going to differentiate, one mattress from another. I'm the first person to say mattresses are very similar. And if you lay on more than 5 at a time, they're going to start to all feel the same and you can't figure out why they're different. But there are little things in each mattress that make them unique, and kind of knowing that and understanding that and maybe having felt them, you're going to be able to kind of decide what is best for you. 3Z has some great advantages in terms of because of our manufacturing capabilities. So we do have that quality assurance. We control the supply chain. And what that means is we literally make everything. There are only 2 things. We get our steel from Mexico and our cotton and fabric from North Carolina. Besides that, from start to finish, we are controlling what is in stock, the supply, the quality, and really kind of the efficiency of the manufacturing. So because it's so streamlined, we're really able to kind of provide you with those short lead times, made to order products at affordable costs. And with that, as I kind of said, just not even just me, but everyone at 3Z is really kind of innovative and a part of the company, whether they're in the factory or in the corporate. And our leadership is also, 3 decades, 4 decades of mattress experience. Our craftsmen on our floor, on our factory floor, know what they're doing, have been doing it for decades. And we also bring in industry expertise, sleep experts, to really help us hone in on those great products. And so I'm really, on my end, really trying to build that trust with you as a customer, to know that we're making sure that the product you're getting is exactly what you are wanting to get and what you ordered and what it should be. So we also have a really big commitment to sustainability. So all of our foams are CertiPure certified. Say that 4 times fast. And all of our mattresses are Green Guard Gold certified. So low chemical emissions. You're sleeping on a clean product. All of our latex that we use in our natural products is GOLS, Global Organic Latex Standards. All of our products are fiberglass free. everything you're getting is a commitment to making sure that it's a wellness, clean, comfort, responsive to your body and healthy for you. That's really important to us. And, not just the mattress itself, but even our recycling programs, our donation programs, our giving back to the community. We're really trying to make sure that we're building a standard for the mattress industry when we're creating our products and what we do in the manufacturing space. So in terms of our brands, we are the most awarded and validated mattress brands out there right now. So if you go to, Leesa.com or bearmattress.com, brooklynbedding.com, you're going to see all of the awards that we've gotten for our mattresses. Wirecutter is very synonymous with Leesa, Good Housekeeping with Bear, Forbes with Brooklyn Bedding. We have really, really worked with these companies to give them products that are worthwhile, that are worth these awards and worth the 5-star ratings that are on our websites. And so with that, I think that trust and that buildup of the trust also kind of talks to you guys on the hospitality side, because you can see what we're making and what other people are thinking of our mattresses in order to kind of make those informed decisions. But we're really kind of proud of all of everything we've put out there. I think one of the things about 3Z Brands is in kind of differentiating from the rest of the market out there, especially the e-commerce market, is we truly are mattress people. We're not a marketing or a tech company just building a bed in a box type company. Like, we really are mattress people who've been in the industry for a really long time, and we want to make a well-made mattress. And that's just really important to us. We're not going to just put something out there just to have it, just to make sales. This is about building the best product so we can build up your trust. Okay, so this is where we get into the weeds. So what's under the sheets? What are mattresses made of? What should you keep mattresses on? What types of mattresses are there? So mattress types. So there's all foam mattresses. We first understood all foam mattresses to be, the Casper bed in a box that came out in 2012, kind of took the mattress industry by storm, was able to roll pack and put those memory foam mattresses in a box and ship them out. Now they've evolved. We can pretty much roll pack anything and put it into a box. So you can get your memory foam mattresses, but you can also get hybrid mattresses. Hybrid are the individually pocketed coil systems with memory foam layers on top of them. You might get a latex mattress. Latex is what we use for our organic and natural mattresses. So there's different types that you might get. I will say, and we'll get a little bit into this when it's kind of like, what should you pick? I will say, I think hybrid is the more universal comfort feel than a memory foam. So I think that's something to think about when you're trying to think about your property. Who do you want to service? Who are you servicing? And do you need that universal comfort feel, or are you trying to go for something different? Memory foam can be very fickle in climates. So if you're in a cold climate and the bedroom's cold, memory foam will actually be a lot firmer versus if you're in a warmer climate, in a warmer room, you're going to have a softer memory foam. And while you will have those differentiation in hybrid mattresses, the coil system is what keeps it consistent. So you're not going to get those fluctuations based on your climate when it comes to a hybrid mattress. So memory foam is temperamental in that sense. So kind of, if you are getting all memory foam, I generally say, keep a general, like a 68 to 72 temperature in the bedrooms, in the house. Also thinking about, because it's not always a universal comfort feel, maybe it's more of a bed that you might get for bunk beds or trundles, or something of that sort, and save the hybrids and a little bit more of those types of mattresses for the primary bedrooms. So core components of a mattress. So you're going to have, we're going to start at the bottom. You're going to have your base support layer. And then you're going to have if it's a hybrid, you're going to have your individually encased coil systems. Those are usually 6 inches or 8 inches. They can be zoned or not zoned. Zoned means it's going to have different steel gauges in different parts of the zone coil system. So it's going to have a different one for your back and shoulders, another one for your lower back, and then for your legs. So those systems are usually in more luxury hybrids. And then you're also going to have around your coil systems, you're going to have the edge support. So what we do is we use a really thick steel gauge, high gauge steel that goes around the main coil components, and that's going to give you your edge support. Traditionally, edge support used to be a foam encasement. So like a really, really thick, firm foam that was around just a kind of a crappy coil system. So I always like to talk about edge support in the sense that it's really important when you're sitting on the edge of a mattress to make sure your knees are up against the mattress, right? So sit all the way back. Don't sit with like your butt kind of on the edge. You are going to kind of go down a little bit. Really, to feel the edge support, you need to be properly sitting on it. And most importantly, you need to be laying on the mattress. And so that's really going to give you what the mattress feels like and what the support is. And so it's important to kind of think about those things when you're testing or sleep testing a mattress. So you have your coil systems, and then depending on the height of the mattress, it also will depend on the different foam layers that are in there. You can have, you can have a copper memory foam, a responsive memory foam, a gel memory foam, a cooling gel. You can have all different types of foam layers. A lot of times we'll have a comfort layer in there. We'll have a support layer. We might have a responsive layer that kind of controls pressure points. These foam layers can all be different densities. So you might hear, getting really into the weeds, ILD. That really represents what's the density of the foam. The higher the density, so if it's an ILD 30 or 36, the firmer the foam, so the firmer the mattress. The lower, if it's an ILD 10, 15, 20, that's where you're getting into more of your soft medium firms, and the softer, plusher the mattress. So those densities matter in terms of when we're, creating a mattress. Even, the mattresses that we have that come in soft, medium, and firm, they'll have the same foam layers, but they'll have different ILDs and densities in order to create that comfort feel. So that's really going to kind of really, the foam layers are what determine that comfort, but the top cover does too. So you might see some top covers where they're stitched differently. The stitching matters. So this, the stitching, if they're closer together, it usually means it's going to be a firmer feel. If the stitching is further apart and the quilting's further apart, it's going to be a softer feel. So there's all different types of stitching that is involved of the top cover that also creates the comfort feel of the mattress. And as well as whether are we using a cool to the touch fabric, a Celliant fabric, a regular tensile fabric, we always kind of differentiate there as well in terms of what kind of cover we're putting on. And with the mattress, it's not just about, so like with the hybrids, there's also, you have the cooling gels, you have the cool to the touch fabric, but also the hybrid, the airflow also comes through those coil systems. So, what we're trying to create as a whole of the mattress is airflow to prevent heat from getting trapped and to kind of give that breathability of the mattress to really help you sleep. And also for the durability of the mattress, nothing's getting kind of trapped and everything can kind of breathe and be supportive. So the support system, what you put your mattress on is important. Everyone still calls them box springs. So they're not box springs anymore. They're called foundations, and they should be metal or wood. They sometimes can have a flat top or they are slatted, and they're usually 3 to 4 inches apart in terms of slats. Box spring refers to the old box springs actually had coils in them, and we don't want that anymore. Not many people make them. They do exist, but you need a foundation for the mattresses that exist nowadays. You need to have that wood or metal support in order to get the most out of your mattress. You can put it on the foundation. The foundation can go on a frame. You can get a platform bed that has slats. We always say as long as the slats are about 4 inches and no more apart from each other, you're going to have a great foundation and support for that mattress. And then there's, of course, adjustable bases, which we have and love. And I actually have one, and it's really nice to watch TV in an adjustable base. But again, that's kind of just getting into different things that you can have in the bedroom. But those are all really great support systems for the mattress. And it does matter what the mattress is on in order to provide that comfort. So again, quality assurance, right? So the comfort feel, soft, medium, firm. I'm always going to say with hospitality, you should go a little firmer. We have done case studies where people will have a better night's sleep on a too firm mattress than a too soft mattress. So even if it's not a feel that they really truly love or like, they're still going to have a good night's sleep if it's medium to firm rather than soft to medium. So that's something to think about in terms of hospitality, in terms of universal comfort. Feel is so subjective and it is really hard, but I always do say if you keep to that medium firm, you're really not going to go wrong. And that's why also some of our hospitality exclusive mattresses that we offer are offered because they come in an extra firm or a firm, whereas if that was to be found in retail, you wouldn't have those feels. Again, durability, affordability, we're making these to last, but they don't last forever, especially in hospitality. So we do have 10-year limited warranties on all of our hospitality mattresses that you purchase through Minoan. And we do recommend, depending on the wear and tear, about changing them out every 5 to 7 years. I do think they can stay longer. I think it's really just a matter of what you see across your property and how they do. Sometimes they need to be replaced quicker, and sometimes they'll last longer. But 5 to 7 years tends to be a sweet spot. In terms of also durability, we don't really make double-sided mattresses anymore. And that was a really big thing in the hospitality industry a while back. And that's because the materials that we are using to make these mattresses are so much higher quality than what they used to be. And so you don't need to flip a mattress in order to make sure that it's durable and long lasting. You just don't need to do that anymore. And it's a little bit antiquated. We do offer double-sided mattresses, but again, that's not something that you need to think about when you're thinking of putting in a mattress for hospitality. I also would say the only thing you could do, which again, you don't have to do, is just turning the mattress every 6 months to make sure, you're just kind of giving it a little bit of a different life support. But even that doesn't need to be done. I have never done that in my life, and my mattresses last for a while. So just so you know, but it is something you can do. Housekeeping can do. A lot of our hospitality mattresses come with handles on them to make it easier to lift or turn. So again, that is doable. And again, our certifications and warranties, the 10-year limited warranty, our certifications in terms of CertiPure, but also in terms of fire, everything that goes into making a mattress. We're commercially and residentially certified. So you don't need to worry about anything of that sort when it comes to purchasing. We have all the certifications for that. All right, so what are like the most important points you need to think about to picking a mattress? I put 8 points on here that we'll talk about, but I think for just, right off the bat, I think there's 3, and it's budget, universal comfort, and the features. And I'll kind of get to why the features matter. But budget and value is really important because you need to think about what kind of property you are servicing, right? And what you're trying to build. Not that I think that anyone needs to spend too much on a mattress, but I also think you shouldn't spend too less on a mattress. Again, case studies have shown that if people do not have a good night's sleep, you're apt to lose 2 stars on your review. And so when you think about that, you need to think about the mattress budget, because I have countless times seen people spend so much money on beautiful mirrors or beautiful paintings and different things that really make the room stand out. but not any money on the mattress, and it just isn't comfortable. And I think you really want to think about what you can afford as the best mattress possible to put into that room. And so, thinking about your property type, whether it's luxury, whether it's a 2-star, whatever it might be, will also dictate that budget and value of the mattress. Now, because we're able to create, 200, 300 SKUs of mattresses, we have different price points to find that mattress for you. So I always think it's best, be upfront. Tell us what your budget is. Tell us what what you can do within a certain range. And we're going to pick out, 3 top mattresses that might be good for you. It's really kind of important to just be realistic about it and not kind of come in and say, just give me what you think. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, I can't afford that. It's like, no, just be upfront about your budget, but also realize that mattresses are incredibly important when it comes to your guest experience. So the universal comfort, I'll just repeat it again. I really think it's a hybrid mattress. You are going to just be able to, with a hybrid in the medium to firm feel, really be able to just kind of get everybody having a good night's sleep. You're not going to please everybody. You can never please everybody. Everybody has their own types of mattresses they like to sleep on, whether it's super extra firm, the floor, or it's really, really soft and they like to sink in, but if you're sticking to a hybrid with medium to firm, you're going to hit that mark very well most of the time. When I say features, I don't mean cooling features, which is also great things to have, and there's different features you can do. I kind of mean height and the height profile. So I'm of the mindset, no matter what, if it's a 12 to 14-inch mattress, it's going to look great in the bedroom. Height matters. Height matters because you have more layers of foam. You have more layers to have better, bells and whistles in it. It's going to just look like it really luxury hotel quality mattress in terms of height. So I always think trying to find that sweet spot between, 12, 13, 14 inches. You can go to 10 inches, 10 to 14, but I really do feel that 12 to 13 is a sweet spot. And there's really, really great mattresses at that height profile for really affordable costs. And I think that's important, thinking about, what kind of frame you're putting it on and what kind of height you can have on the mattress. Do you need to be ADA compliant? All those different things, but really thinking about the design of the room and then coming, with that spec, like, oh, we want like an 11 to 13. And then that also helps, the height profile, the budget, and the hybrid really helps kind of hone in on what we need to find for you, and your property type. Also, ease of setup. So what's great about us is, again, roll packed, vacuum sealed right to your door. And we do recommend 2 people if you're going upstairs. They're pretty heavy. If it's a queen or a king, can be upwards of 150 pounds in the box. But setup's really easy. You just kind of throw it out of the box, cut open the plastic, and it will expand and fill up. It's ready to use right then. So sometimes it takes 24 to 48 hours for the actual comfort to feel. It might feel a little soft at first. If it's supposed to be a firmer mattress, but for them, you can sleep on it right away from opening it up. So I think that's really helpful in the sense that you can also hold them. We say, like, if you have them in a box for, 3 to 5 weeks, 5 weeks might be max, but I would say 3 to 5 weeks, it's okay. You can store them if you're still working on your property, if you're still designing. Get the mattresses, store them, and then when you're ready to put them out, they're still be in great condition. After that, we don't recommend. So the other thing that you can do, though, is if you do need to have more time to keep those mattresses in storage, but it's going to be more than 5 weeks, what I would say is take it out of the box, cut a little slit in the plastic to expand it, but it stays in the plastic and therefore it's protected. So you can put it in storage and it's in the plastic and you're kind of able to keep that clean until you're ready to put it into your bedroom. The other thing I think is important to think about is the cleanability and protection. So I always, always, always say for hospitality, I think having a mattress encasement and a mattress protector are the two most important things in keeping your mattress clean and long lasting. The encasement's going to go around the mattress. It's going to zip over it. It's going to keep out bed bugs. It's waterproof. It does not need to be taken off all the time. It can be taken off and washed, but it doesn't need to be. That's what the mattress protector is there for. So the mattress protector is going to be over the mattress, then the sheets, the duvet, comforter, and you're going to be able to protect that mattress even longer if you have the encasement and the protector on it. Reviews. So we all want really great reviews. And I think that's really when it comes to finding the perfect fit for your mattress is if you're going with a branded mattress from 3Z brands, whether it's Brooklyn Bedding, Leesa, or Bear, is you can do your due diligence online. You can read the reviews. You can go to different websites. You can go to some of those mattress, third-party websites and really see what people are saying about all of these mattresses and how they might help you. And then the other side of the equation is if you kind of adhere to all of these things in terms of, making sure your mattress is the right fit for your property type. It feels good. It's a universal comfort. It has features that, are long lasting and durable. You're going to get great reviews. You're going to have people sleeping really well on it, and you're going to get those reviews after the fact. Time and time again, people might love the property. They might love, the trip, the vacation, but they'll remember if they slept poorly. They always do. And so the most important thing is remembering to give your guests the best night's sleep because they're on vacation or they're on a trip or a travel and they're trying to have that experience. And I think the mattress experience is one part of the equation that really needs to be focused on. Okay. So I definitely play favorites. And so I'm going to go through like the good, better, best of the mattresses that I would recommend that Minoan also carries. But I can tell you out of this list, I have 1, 2, 3. I have 4 of these mattresses in my house. So I have a different mattress in every bedroom. My kids sleep on the Signature. 2 of my kids sleep on a Signature. One of them sleeps on the Natural. I sleep on the Legend. And we have a studio in our guest room. So just so you know, this isn't like lip service. Like I love these mattresses, and that's why I continue to, press them with Minoan and to kind of really kind of sing their praises because I think they're really, really great quality mattresses, especially for hospitality because of their affordable costs as well. And they hit all the points that you kind of need in terms of picking mattresses for your property. So the Dream Foam Hybrid, that's going to get you a 10-inch height profile. It has a 6-inch coil system. It has a cooling cover. It's going to be great. It's affordable. It's going to be great for bunk beds. It's great for kids' beds. It's great for other bedrooms. You're going to have a good night's sleep on it. It has about, 3 to 4 inches of foam with the coil system. So you have a little bit more comfort than 10-inch mattresses that have 8-inch coil systems in it. So you really kind of get a little bit more of that comfort feel. The BB Signature, the Brooklyn Bedding Signature, comes in soft, medium, or firm. It also can have an added pillow top. It has a cooling cover. It has an 8-inch coil system. This is just like a really great kind of, what's the word? Introduction mattress. That's the wrong word, but it's really just a great overall kind of, run of your mill. You're going to have a great sleep on it at an affordable cost. The pillow top really adds a couple inches onto it. So you might get a little bit more height profile and a little bit more quilting when you add that cloud pillow top. But it's a really great mattress. It's actually our best-selling Brooklyn Bedding mattress. So we sell so many of our signatures because it really just is that well made, that comfortable at a really great price. And then you're going to get into the betters and the bests with Leesa. So the Leesa Studio Chill is what we're giving away today. This is a great hospitality mattress. This is probably what I would say is if you don't know what you want, get this one. This is just, can put it in a luxury property and people will think, it's a $4,000 mattress. It's just really, really comfortable. has an 8-inch zone coil system. It has copper gel memory foam. Copper is antimicrobial. It's clean, it's cooling, and you get that 12-inch height profile, which I think is really important. The best is the Leesa Legend. I sleep on that. It has a dual coil system. So it's really cool in the sense that it has an 8-inch zoned coil system with two foam layers in between, and then a micro coil system. So you actually have this dual system that really lets you, that really kind of cradles you and supports you. And that's a medium firm feel. So it really does feel supportive. It's comfortable. It's almost 14 inches. It just really feels luxurious and I love it. And then the natural. So the Bare Natural is also like my baby. So that was always a hospitality exclusive mattress for Bare. So for so long we would get questions about an organic mattress, but at a better price point. Organic mattresses are really, really expensive, but people really wanted to kind of tell that wellness story, tell the natural story. And so the Bare Natural was created to be sustainable latex. I would say it's 75% natural. It has GOT certified organic cotton, and it just has a little poly foam in it, which makes it not 100% organic, but that's to give it a little height because a lot of organic mattresses are lower in height profile. So whether they're 10 to 11 inches, this is giving you a 13-inch height profile on a natural mattress. And it is also offered in a medium or an extra firm. The extra firm is hospitality exclusive. I'd say it's a little bit of it's not extra firm, but we call it that because the latex is extra firm, but latex is naturally softer than memory foam. So you're always going to have a little bit softer of a feel when you have a latex mattress and a little bit of a bouncier feel. So the natural extra firm has been one of our biggest bestsellers in terms of independent boutique hotel projects. And we've sold a lot of them over the last 5 years. And it's just a great mattress. So those are kind of my favorite Minoan must-haves that I think, are important to consider. Again, the encasement too and the protectors are important. But those would be my favorite mattresses. And as someone who has had a lot of mattresses in her life, these are definitely on point to be able to service your property the way that you want it to. And then questions, right? And
Awesome.
then a
Yeah.
giveaway.
Yeah, we'll do questions first. We've had a ton of great questions come in. Everyone's like loving this info. I'm learning so much myself, so thank you for this. Let me go back kind of towards the top. One thing that a couple people have asked is what about kids-specific spaces? I know you kind of touched on this with your own kids, but I know kids can generally sleep anywhere, but if kids sleep well, so do the parents on vacation. So, what would you recommend for a kid-friendly, probably like you said, the bunk beds, like those types of spaces?
Yeah, I think in terms of kids, you want to go a little firmer. I think they'll have a little bit better sleep when they're not bouncing around. So you want to go with a firm mattress. I mean, we do have kid mattresses. So the Bear Cub is an 8-inch hybrid. And Brooklyn Bedding has a 6-inch version. But you also can just go with the Dream Foam hybrid. You could go with a 10 or a 12-inch, as long as you're kind of going with a firmer feel. And so when they're kind of moving around and they're thrashing around, they're not waking up because it's too soft or too bouncy, or the motion transfer is too much. So I think really just in terms of finding a firmer mattress for a kid is best. Yes, they can sometimes sleep anywhere, but I agree. You want kids to sleep on vacation. So I would say, like, I would probably, if, like I said, I have the Brooklyn Bedding signature for my kids at 12 inches. But I think you could go with that Dream Foam hybrid and be perfectly happy.
Perfect. So Jesse says, I'm about to furnish a 6-bedroom house that has a total of 10 beds. Do you suggest using the same mattress for each bed? They're saying Brooklyn Bedding Minoan exclusive Dream Foam hybrid 10-inch, or using different mattresses so guests have a variety of options.
I don't think guests are going to know if they have a variety of options. I mean, you could maybe promote it in that sense, so they could. But for the most part, I think I'm the only one who walks into a room and pulls up the sheets to see what mattress I'm sleeping on. Unless your guests have a really great experience and they want to buy it, right? So then they'll do that at the end. I actually do think it's worth getting whatever you're kind of setting up as your primary bedroom, or if you have multiple primary bedrooms, would be to spend more money on those. And then secondary bedrooms can be a step down. So really just depending on your budget, but I think it's worthwhile to have maybe 2 different mattresses in there, because in terms of if, you know, even if someone's coming to your house and they're not filling up all the bedrooms, they're going to gravitate towards the primary. So you want, if you're spending the most money, you might want to furnish that with a different, more luxury mattress. And then the secondaries can just be a little different, maybe a little less high profile, a little fewer bells and whistles, but still comfortable.
Perfect. Ryan asked if you can kind of cover the differences of in like the targeted customers of each of the 3 brands. So like, or is there really differences? Can you kind of so if you could kind of just cover like maybe Lisa's perfect for this, Brooklyn Bedding, if that's even applicable.
Yeah, so it's hard. I mean, you can be on any brand, right? We market it differently in terms of what our kind of niche is, right? So I would say, you know, coming from Bear, I can speak a lot better about Bear, but Bear, we kind of, in order to differentiate ourselves in the market, we catered and marketed to athletes, right? And so we were really focused on recovery and active recovery for your body, for people who are really active. Now we all have active lifestyles. We're all busy. So it's not just about athletes with Bear, but you know, we kind of came out with Celliant technology, which has fibers in it that lead to active cell recovery while you sleep. So doing things like that for Bear differentiate it, you know, that type of customer and who might, you know, find us online and buy our mattresses. You know, I think Leesa speaks, you know, they're really into, you know, kind of a bit more luxury, a little bit more wellness, a little bit more higher end. And so their marketing is really focused around that, and what they offer in terms of, you know, how does the mattress, you know, does it envelop you? Like, do you feel like you're in a 5-star, you know, hotel when you're sleeping on the mattresses? You know, all of those kind of considerations go into making the products for Leesa. And Brooklyn Bedding, you know, Brooklyn Bedding is the original mattress manufacturer. So it's not based out of Brooklyn, New York. It was based on the owner's daughter's name was Brooklyn, and they're based out of Phoenix, Arizona. And Brooklyn Bedding, because they were the manufacturer, first and foremost, they really focused on affordable quality mattresses. So you're always going to see just incredible pricing when it comes to Brooklyn Bedding. So someone who's really price conscious, but still really wants that quality, wants a well-made, great feeling mattress, can go to Brooklyn Bedding and get that with any of the mattresses they offer. And then the great thing about Brooklyn Bedding is we have all these offshoots, right? We do a lot of RV business. We have the Dream Foam. We have something called Titan, Spartan, Plank. So we really cater to different customer segments based on what, you know, the mattress that we're selling is. But overall, I really think in general, you know, people always are like, well, they're made in the same factory. But I think what I'm always trying to say is yes, but all of these products have something a little different to make them what they are and to make them brand oriented. And then we also have a very large no label wholesale line that has bells and whistles that aren't branded, that are even, you know, more cost effective if branding doesn't matter to someone.
Awesome. Thank you. That was a perfect explanation. I see a lot of questions in the chat just about the differences of a mattress like encasement versus a mattress protector. Can you kind of like, I don't think people are super clear on the differences and why you would need one, why you need both or one or all that. So if you could go into
Yeah.
that a little bit.
So an encasement is going to go around the whole entire mattress. So bottom, top, side, and it's going to literally zip around the whole mattress and encase it. So no part of the mattress is anywhere, you know, touching anything. It's going to protect from bed bugs. It's going to protect from moisture. It's going to protect from a lot of different things with the mattress that maybe a protector doesn't. A protector doesn't protect from bed bugs. That's because it only goes across the top and the sides, right? There's still the bottom that things can get into. So again, the encasement in terms of why I recommend it mostly for hospitality, you can do it for yourself too, but is because you're really going to be able to kind of extend the durability and the longevity of your mattress with one of those, versus not. Now, that being said, a lot of people don't get them and they get the protectors and they're fine. But I just always like to kind of say, the more protection, the better, in order to make sure that you get, the most out of the money that you're spending on your mattresses and making sure that they last.
Perfect. And then kind of opposite end of the kids specific question, what about someone who has older guests, like 60 plus? What would you recommend for mattresses there?
Yeah. So that goes back to the comfort feel. And so, if you want to really have a firm mattress, a softer mattress is not going to, the comfort feel actually doesn't matter in terms of the support it gives. You are going to get great back support. You're going to get great, neck and shoulder support or anything of that sort, depending, regardless of if you buy the signature in like a soft, medium, or firm. That being said, the firmer the mattress, the better it is for people in order to kind of be lying down. Are they side sleepers? Are they back sleepers? Are they stomach sleepers? That medium to firm is going to help just kind of make sure that they feel supported. It's also a very big mental activity in terms of people just think if it's too soft, it's not supportive. And so especially in older clients, and also being able to get out of the bed. Sometimes a softer bed, you don't get out as easily as a firmer mattress. So thinking about age and stuff, it might be easier when it's a little bit firmer.
Perfect. Okay. Last question here that I think we have time for because then we have to do the giveaway really quick. Any recommendations for like what is your sleeping on the clouds mattress? Like your softest, like plush, your, you know, cloud mattress.
Wait, say that again.
Like what is your, someone said any recommendations for a really soft mattress? Like
Oh,
you're sleeping on the clouds.
oh yeah. Let me think about that. So there's a few, but I think going back to either like a Bear or a Leesa, I'd say the Bear Elite in soft is really, really comfortable. And I would also